Welcome to Podcastmalawi. This is a major meeting. This is the boardroom. And I'm here, Cardinal Henry. Geoff is here. Ngozo Sagufika. And today it's another beautiful day of podcast of the major meeting. I think last week we were not here, but this week we are here.
Due to other reasons.
No. We were not around. So guys, today as you have seen, guys, guess what I know the tisana pange introduce wa mpakale kulankhula kutani akudzimvado kupezeka pamalopa
in the podcast timango masuka basi so tikamba zokuti tidikire mutilandire protocol achadi
etonkhani ya protocol inavuta
ndemkaya mwana ndilembeleka message ndikubwera.
All right, guys. So that's I wanted to say that's the history.
Yeah. My name is McDonald.
I wanted to say that's the together, but no, it's not.
It's McDonald.
We've got in the studio McDonald Nyoni, our guest today.
And the instigator is no longer. I don't know. Oh, there's an instigator.
Is the instigator dead?
No, he will just change faces, but he's still alright.
It's get a Rancho Sanchiro. So instigator is fired. Yeah, but we are happy. We are happy to have you. Yeah. McDonald is coming in as the friend of the show.
Yep.
He has always been around. I mean, but he has always been around, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Now, I'm excited to be here for so many reasons, because I always believe this show is the mouthpiece of Malawi.
Exactly, it is. It is.
So Malawians listen to this show because you carry their messages and you speak to power, but you also speak to different characters, activities. So I find this show really interesting.
How does it feel to be back?
It feels weird. Because a while ago it's like, welcome with
Podcast with McNyoni.
Welcome to Podcast with McNyoni. My name is McDonald. I'm excited to be here. I have blah. So I used to be like, this is a special edition. I say, every guest has a guest holding, and I pay number in area. So like, special. Bro, as the people don't understand how to work in the trenches, right?
Yeah. But yeah, man, here we are.
That's why I'm not figure my thousands likes, 900 likes, 100 views.
But still, shout out. I think by my show, even my likes, yeah. We just beat the record, I think.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Record, the show that I had.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to talk about it.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So here is the boardroom.
Yeah.
I think you know the rules in the boardroom.
Yes.
Here is where we tackle those issues.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about good governance. We're talking about politics. We're talking about the economy.
Yes.
Those are the issues.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a mangantenje mjibinda mono boardroom.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Yeah.
And for the next 1 hour will be the setting into these issues.
Yeah.
And we want to how is Zambia? People were like, Komado McDonald yana kabwera ku kamera. So he's here now.
Abantu akala kufuna untabwera vanhu.
Ando amafuna.
Why, guys? Henry, however he calls his name, guys, Cardinal Henry. He has been your host. I don't know, host with Mbumba. These guys have been doing an amazing job.
Yeah, of course. But we have to appreciate. We have to give credit. I mean, I think every time that you've been there, and people were like, "Hey, kuma say, adaina ga mangulangula ku microphone. Hey, adamena jande achabe kwambiri." You get it? And then we can't be here and be like, you in this job." I mean, people. I mean, real recognize real.
Yeah, true,
you get it?
Man. True,
so,
man.
And her mom funded too. Now this is the opportunity, like, for them to
to see the first, right?
Exactly.
So this is McDonald. Yeah, I usually use this. I'm excited to be here. So I'm excited to be here.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's dive deep into this now.
Yeah.
Let's start selling.
Yeah.
There was like a debate that was spiked by one Mbuyiseni and Rose.
Yeah.
This guy was called for a public lecture.
Yeah.
The Mbumba, the Minister of Trade.
Yeah.
So he came, there was a public lecture. I think Mbumba Analankula, there was this other guy, Analankula, and then Mbuyiseni Anadzalankula. So it was a deep public lecture. I think maybe just your thoughts on all these speakers, on what they talked about on that day.
No, I watched that public lecture for so many reasons. One, because I love the convergence of knowledge.
Of course.
Yeah, when two people that have ideologies are meeting and I want to discuss something, I'm always fascinated because knowledge is something. You know, you need to be hungry for knowledge.
Exactly.
You need to you need to be looking for that knowledge so that you can get new ideas in your head. And that was really amazing. So the event was really colorful from where I was watching it. I saw that it was really amazing. I was tuning in and I could see guys so many media houses were there, making sure good at least the event is well covered and everything else. The Chancellor College students were weird somewhere. The Chancellor College students. I think there's a thing.
Isn't that how they are?
No, I think we have.
Was it just because of the function?
No. Kabila still they do the same. I think we have normalized kukala unruly as being a student. Being a student is not being unruly. Being a student is when you're learning and you don't just learn kungo punzira.
No.
You will also learn behaviors. But I think the universities in Malawi have not done so much to create a good behavior.
Yeah.
When you can go.
Well behaved. Could you be delivering something? And the school you all say,
I think people are always worried when I go to university. Because they think like the universities have not done well to teach morals. And I think that was demonstrated during that event. The event was supposed to be a place where people would converge up ideologies, theories. People will be testing. And maybe people will even raise their hands. Good guys. No, you have said about era yakut, but the era manager was influenced by my areas. I was expecting something of that nature. Because that was hosted by I think Fagadia Public Administration or something. I don't know. I could be wrong. But it was about. I felt like it could be more about that. But anyway, the event happened.
It's been done or planned by a political figure.
Maybe
also contributed.
Come I've seen my public lectures and gap. I think Gedaliso Kabambe was also doing Inage, and I think it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
Yeah, come I think that day.
So there's just an issue with Chanko.
There's an issue with Chanko and maybe the day. Sometimes maybe excitement was just there. Yeah. So maybe we move on from that because I think the big issue that we discussed started with Mbumba. Mbumba came in, amazing guy. He has his own ideology. People over politics. So he started explaining what that ideology is all about. I found it really interesting to see that he brought that they had that discussion into light because you say people have always prioritized personal gain, have always prioritized popularity over the people that elect them. People forget the foundation of a country and the foundation of leadership and governance is that you elect people that you entrust them with your resources. Not there.
Nope. But they're not coming in with their money.
No.
They're not coming in with their money.
So whatever that we have, the lake, the land, and everything, minerals belongs to
Malawians.
And those things we entrust those resources to this particular sector.
Yes.
And these people are supposed to prioritize the people.
Yes.
Who is these resources belongs to.
Yeah.
Now, so he brought in that kind of ideology, which has to be not. Because most of the people they forget and they think it's about them. So he brought in that. So we can talk about that because the people over politics, ideology, from where I'm sitting, I feel it is like an ideology that
okay.
It doesn't have to be
apart from good I'm going there to save the people. And most of the times it's what they speak. But it's not actually what they live when they are given the power, if you look at it.
Yeah, true. So it's weird kuti people get into power. Now, instead of us being served, now we serve them. You see, so it's never people over politics. It's about politics over people. You see, it's like we have something that is more superior than the people, which becomes the politics.
Exactly.
And I think he broke it down, and I put some examples of many even mabeze kena gali go says just politicized in Malawi kuno.
Everything.
Pamaliro achipana imiri. Everything basic. Ajipani. Yeah, kuchipani ife monga kuchipani takana tukususa. Guys, life is not about politics. It's about the people. It is about my struggles out. It is about development out. It is about what they feel. And people don't eat politics. People eat food.
Exactly.
And politics is what we battle in terms of ideologies. Kena kuti mapanga amene ideology yabu notimu sankha kuti athandize kuti atipase increase into our products or whatever.
Koma ndoti chachikulu tivomereze unena kuti for such a long time. Takatuma kandi ma leaders amene amatha kubwera ndi mentality kapena ideology yonena kuti I have people at heart. But when they go in there start enjoying our resources. I don't think they still remember the people that.
No, they don't. They don't. And I think that's a big problem we have right now. Is antamakaya kuti ai neo ndikupangira anthu andituma anthu aja ai akangotu afika pale pajapo the whole narrative changes. Simakhaso anthu andituma anthu atani. And then one of the things that you see is for tinapanga normalize kuti andale amatigaira ndalama yakangota pita pasonkhano paja no sepano sapato. All this kind of weird ideologies. I feel like mutaka even at kungoyima kusangana kuti panopa no situ kugana kandalama. That person should be booed. Because it's taking ngati anthu amene anamulemba ntchito ngati iwo antchito ndiwo.
Wantchito ndi uyu yuko.
No, wantchito ndi iweyo. So why are you behaving like iweyo nde you are doing them a favor?
Exactly. Because I think the narrative changes no sobano. Kuti ife ndamene timakanga tizi bwana kumatu mukanabwera kumatu bwana munakatere. We have employed
you. You have employed the person.
We don't have to be fighting kuti tikupeze. You have to be available.
You have to be schedule kuti tiziziwa. Tizipanga bhuku and tiziziwa kuti tilipa kuti.
Exactly.
Tizakumana in the next 10 days.
Exactly. Because we employed you.
We employed you.
You are eating on. We are paying you
through taxpayers' money.
Exactly.
So this whole ideology of people over politics,
it's a good one.
It's a good one. And I think it has to be something that has to be built with every politician. I'm here to make sure that people are the priority and not the politics and not my enrichment and so forth and so on.
Because I think for such a long time, don't you think kuti pali zinthu zina zake zoti zinakatha kuenda straight forward komano zimasokonekera because anthu amakhandi mind ya politics every time.
But anyway, so many things about people over politics. I think the best thing is just to have Honorable Mbumba come here to unpack the whole people over politics thing. I think it's a good ideology. I think it can be a winning ideology even for teaching the new generation. My worry is not usually with people that we have right now. My worry is about the generation that is coming. Kuti sazapange inherit kusempana kwa madera kuti umachokera ku north umachokera ku south iwe pakati. If we can fix that, tizazi go to 75 moz and that ideology can be taught, can be built within the new generation and heal us.
You know my concern. My concern I think is on kuti so I'm going to fight against this ideology.
Fight against the ideology?
Yeah.
Do
you know kuti they were not even happy about the whole public lecture thing.
Why?
Kuti okay, now I want to say kuti zinthu zimene makamba zija ndikulimba mtima ifanira kuti zinthu zina zikuchitidwa panopa.
Okay, I get it. Kuti some of the known elements of
of politics over people. It's happening panopa.
I hear you, man.
You get it?
I hear
so
you.
It's like he's a part of that system, but he's trying to preach about something different.
Yeah, it's like tosetli pano koma TNT sinteni.
Komano ena akamene sakufuna kusintha kapena amene amapindula chifukwa cha zimene zikuchitikazo. I'm telling you, they were like sorts of anthu amapanga post yagufa ana kungopanga post, like the focus was just on that.
Oh, so the whole unruly things instead of respecting. Okay, let me also bring in issue kati mene. I feel like the politics ya ku Malawi kunogo is very misguided. Mwachisanzo, if someone anapita kunsonkhano kwina kwake ndo wakagendedwa, right? Anapita kundilande kuti ndo wakagendedwa, upese nake ndilande sungaitole sungatani. I'm like, oh my god, so you don't care.
Leaders.
You don't care.
That's what pisses me off.
You don't care about moyo wa muntu anakamwalira. You're okay as long as your interest is safeguarded.
Kuti mapita kumene kukwatu kuti mungapange chani. Simungakutole kumene kuja. You get it? That's the people that we have.
So Mbuyiseni, or even that's an extreme. Someone is organizing a rally. Rally.
Rally.
Yeah. And the Elo is in Malawi. I think I would be happy. And wanga many amandimvera ine apite so akamumve uyo.
Exactly.
Pamene pamabwira I wanted to use the heavy word. Pamabwira kuchepa kwa IQ ya most of the anthu amene amakhamundali za ku Malawi. Pamene pamabwira umbuli. Kanofana ndize kumbambwana.
I heard something. Where the animals are the only creatures apart from people that will not choose their dumbest to lead them.
Okay.
So I think at the end of the day, it's what you're saying. If you keep the majority dumb and not enlightened, they are not going to revolt. So you know, it's always information that triggers change. So they try as much as possible to say they are going to rise again.
Yeah, because the point we are saying kuti ndapita kumalo ndalankhula zinthu. Now anthu ajali ndi ufulu oti wina also atapita.
Akamumveso ndi Malawi, guys. This ndi Malawi. Ndio anthu ena akamana kuti kumene kuchakulese kuchango kuja. Za flopa, za tani. Guys. Do you hate the person?
They don't even mind about the information.
They don't care.
The lecture, all they are mindful of is kuti kaya mwina uyo ndi competitor wae na akamene timatumikira chanchani nde kuti that popularity bas after 2 days bas anthu asiyasa kulankhula za public lecture. I'm like, what?
Nah, and it pains me. We have not moved on beyond tima petty setups. I mean, amakalapo, because I would say we need to allow winalisa kanimwai. When you have umuntu, omwana kuti uyu ndi muntu, ineso ndi muntu. I love this person the way I would love myself. We could care for people and allow them not to waste their resources. It pains me. Kumpeza muntu ino kuti wapita kunsonkhano and zero eka.
Kulibe anthu.
Who is my resources? Because
okay, so that's Mbumba.
Yes.
Now there was an invited.
Invited guest.
An invited guest. This is a well-known Pan-African.
Yes.
The guy is a politician. I think he announced it. No, I'm not doing now. He also delivered a powerful Pan-African lecture. It was so powerful.
It was a powerful one. It was a powerful one on so many fronts. And I think I liked the idea of getting a guy like that one. Because some of the things that he said, the ideas are many, even Mbumba would feel like akumpanga crash.
Exactly.
And I love people like that. Mbuyiseni, if I bring you here,
let's come here.
I say that's the intellectual conversations, intellectual fights. Kuti anthu akuza kuti okay, uya kuti chonchi, but uya kuti chonchi. That's what I like about
I feel like if they had shared a script, but it's not
anakhala pangashare ma script. Koma nango siyana kuti amwene you are a professional, I'm a professional.
Let's go there
and deliver this. Ine ideology yanga ndi ife tikuziwa ideology yanga ndi Koma nkati mwa nkuluja na gamba zambiri. I think if I would remember a couple of things. One, I think he spoke so much about the West, specifically Donald Trump and stuff. He spoke so much about how Africa is so divided. We are failing to hold ourselves, unite ourselves, and then that has a bearing on so many things. That's why we keep on being tossed around in this I'm a terrorist and everything
kuti
else.
sitimapezeka pa tebulo pamene anthu akupanga maganizo
Aye.
okhuza
So Africa imene ikwakamba nkhani za minerals imene akusokonekera mu Africa. I think there's a lot of DRC situation being discussed. He spoke so much about the changes, my ideologies, kusinthira, which was really interesting. And the way he was speaking, I loved it. I wished he was slow kuti ndizipanga Gugu fama times ena nali kuti ndinamva mu history ndiri ku university koma naiwala pang'ono kuti okay kuti temu iyi ndi nthawi iti ya history, but he was able to bring that to life. And I think in passing he spoke something that really sparked the attention of Malawians, which is about, I think he spoke one bit about people have to have integrity when it comes to when you're leading people.
Leadership,
I think it started with Undale, you have to have integrity. Sabere antu, and you also did an extension kwa anthu opemphera kuti anthu opemphera musabe ndalama kwa anthu kunamizira kuzopemphera ma tithe and everything else, which is a big issue in Africa, because in Africa if there's an issue imene yovuta kwambiri is that there's vulnerability, and everyone else who's psychologically sound is able to manipulate that kind of vulnerability. No, he spoke about that. And then in passing, he says something about our boy. Our boy. We're saying a boy because he's a countryman. Not like we are age mates or something. No. He's a classmate. How
about a Henry?
I like classmate or Henry.
We have pictures.
He said, not with me. But he spoke about him because it is a known truth that he is expected to he's wanted to South Africa, and he left there munjira zimene zaizo zavomerezedwa kwa anthu aku South Africa ndikubwera ku Malawi, and I think he has found himself safe here because kuno ndikwawo, and I think there are a few things that can happen to safeguard him. It was different in a different country. So he said something about it, and I think that sparked debate.
So
break it down for me.
Okay.
What was the discussion and what has happened up to now?
All right. So already nkhani inalionena kuti ikusakale mapiri pachigwa ku Malawi kunoko. Nkhani yonena kuti whether Bushiri must go back or not. Okay? We've been talking about it even here. Kunena kuti tini maganizo anthu osiyana. People are like, no, this is our countryman. I mean, sitingalole kuti atani. Sitingalole kuti apite ndi Malawi wathu amathandiza anthu amagwira ntchito za chifundo. No, there is no way tingampereke kwa adani. You get it, right? There are people putting it in that way. On the other hand, there are also people, I mean, no, if the man of God, if our fellow countrymen say kuti ineyo magai, I'm clean, okay, so why can't he go right, and answer all those charges, clear his name, and come back? Ngati angafune ngati sangatheke kuti kuli safe akhoza kakhala, koma ngati sikuli safe akhoza dani, akhoza bwera kuno. So what Mbuyiseni Ndlozi said, zinakanga tino zinazusa ano sobano debate yoti iliko kale icha. Anthu anayamba no kukambira no di ameneyi. So my problem now, where my problem is kuti I've always been saying this, because if you can see mu lecture yake, what he was talking about was all about Africa. I don't know how people missed everything and just focused on Pamene Bajaba.
Because kumalawi kunoko kani aikiuka.
I don't know.
People will always forget everything else that has been discussed, which can help
the
mind change the perception. Create my stories.
This guy talked about manufacturing as Africa.
I say he spoke
we
so much.
Need that. This guy talked about how we can safeguard our own minerals. We need that. Ma minerals in Africa muno, it's not just ku Malawi. Ma minerals ku Africa kuno, ku Malawi, ku Zimbabwe, ku Ghana, kandi ku Chani. Ma minerals amangopita.
Amangobedwa.
Zijasoti sakupinduliraso even in Zika. So this guy is like, can we have an Africa whereby we can unite and coordinate these minerals properly? Kuti ma minerals are athandize ife. Pakamozi poka pamene wangonena kuti, can we make sure kuti anthu kunoko sakupanga?
Kamozi poka kongo yankula kuti pafika munthu wina wake abwere akayankha milandu, because that is his opinion of how he feels.
Yes.
So he said something. I think there's so many things to unpack there. One is, I think Malawians, we go for sensational discussions. Sensational discussions. One thing that I saw is like, mumbo sana mmenye kwambiri, kumana mmenye kwambiri ndi ndrozi. Guys, do you know ndrozi? People should be at a level of understanding. Tantengeni ndozi jende mumbwese Obama. Obama so is a different layer.
Exactly.
And that's what happens. But they are good. They are the best. They are there at the top level. When people have come, you appreciate it intellectually.
Exactly.
What is chimecha kambida pandi yani? Kuti ma issues na yati. And you unpack those issues. You don't do kuti ujamina yankro kuti. It's about the hate. The hate. And how many hate mangondo sobera because of just being a Malawi. Hey, what to your son? Something like that. 2 is about understanding now muntu yuyu. This guy is a guy that if you have listened to him, si muntu hopa mene maganiza. Si muntu ujodi muntu amuna kuti wamala.
Ngani mamuziwa lero, that's fine.
That's fine. Because he's not like a guy that you can integrate with his statements.
This is the guy amene amalango amaima ndikumamulankhula president ali apa. Ndikumampanga address.
Iwe. Unaba iwe.
Milandu yogwiririra.
Unapanga zakuti.
Yeah, sexual violence.
Sexual violence. Okay. President.
Pamaso. You get it? So you want kuti muntu. Okay. So he was talking about kuti why is it kuti ku Africa kuno anthu athu timaopa kuwafusa mafuso.
And it's a good one. So as part of unpacking what was discussed here, I think that's a foundational question because imajogera kuti people over politics means kupanga safeguard my interest over zinthu zina zake. Now zikafika pokuti anthu ena ake kudziko kuja akukayikiridwa olopa kuchitika ngati kuti mwina you're not sure about how they have earned their living, how they earn their living, komanso how they make their money. Sipakhala atusamakhala flexible kuyankhapo. And I think this is a tendency in Malawi and a tendency in Africa. Kuti if you go let's say kunja kwazungu kuti kwazungu kenaka kusamadusa mu mapepa
of course
ukamanda ndama zako zimaenda bwino zimene wagulira zimaenda bwino so ungapezeke ndi 20 million
yoti
sunga ilongosola sizimatheka kwanza people are serious.
I mean, or even $2 million $2 million. We don't go solar.
Account wako. They can hold your account. Kenako you have to explain. Andrama inapanga business. Inapanga jakuti. Taxi andrama mini ndiiti.
Exactly.
Because ngati salary ama izo salary yako ndi.
Ikamakwera ama ipanga. You get it?
And I've argued on this one. Kuti, if we can just have transparent systems of governance, no one in Africa, and let me look at the camera, no one in Africa would desire to be a politician.
Balibe. And what's the tower?
If we can just have transparent systems of tracing kutumandanda mokuti wazikusenchito mokuti ulindi business yo komanso business si timajani kodi conflict of interest yes mino kupanga palibe my middling ena ake
mungana khazo ndi muli pamene po business mukanayipeza
if they trace all these things no one. And absolutely no one.
Exactly.
I would argue, this is an argument, right? Would go to do politics in Africa because African politics is so appetizing.
Businessy.
Based on the opportunities that are found. Now, he asked a foundational question because this is the same issue that we have to ask pastors.
Exactly.
I think you and me have discussed this for behind the cameras. If there is a big issue as well, if machalichi mutapanga doso mutazimuzitika ma auditor serious muzibwera Ernest and Young muzibwera Peter azibwera ndikumapanga ma auditor abwino aja ndikumaona ndrama zikuenda mwakuti most of these churches azibusa nakazi siya
kwambiri
because there is a lot of mismanagement that happens in managing or even in acquiring of resources. Dubious ways. And it's not about one single person only. It is about the whole ecosystem of church. It is there. It is part of the DNA of kuti mbusa nkhala kuti ndisogoleri. Palibe mamfusa kuti ndrama zaenda bwanji, palibe mamfusa. And mipingo is about amene kusogolerayo ndi ndani. Wakhala mpingo wanembisa ndani amene yempana zamwalira mwana wake. And that happens even in politics. This is an African thing. It also happens even kunjako.
Yeah.
Tiliso ni maishu zambiri mbiri. Joe Austin. I think unamani makolo wake. Anamusiyaso mpingo. Akusangala. Powerful. Alibwino. So siningangu na kuti Africa. Machitika.
Everywhere.
These are the privileges you get by being born kubaja kwina kwake. Also by privilege by founding something. When you found a party, it will just be you. When you found a church, it will also be you and your family. And these are foundational issues. When you come to governance, so when you come, you ask a question. That should not be a big problem.
That's a right question to
ask.
That's a right question to ask. And to be asked if you are someone that has been employed by the people.
Yes.
Sungakuye muntu wokulemba ntchito atafuso kuti ndalama zako azipeza bwanji.
Similarly in churches. Muchali chimuja. Ndi social gathering. Timena mamemba ama song. Anthu muzazi khumi zawo, muzopereka ndi whatever. Papa khala social contract. Imene makhala pamene pajapo. Yona kuti ifeyo mukuti pasa ndrama ngati asogoleri. Tizisunga ndrama zibwino. Ndikuzigwisa ntchito bwino pa project opindulira tonse nachitapo maphunziro za Bible nthawi inayi
ndino abusa tingotero.
One of the big issues that people forget is what are the foundational elements of the gospel or even the foundational issues of being religious. The book of Amos is an example of how churches are supposed to be run. It is about the people. And if you want to talk about even people over politics or people over churches, go to the book of Amos. You're going to find how God is instructing the prophets, the people, to take care of the widows and how they have to make sure that they share their worth and whatever. It is called the theology of liberation, the liberation theology rather. That's the term for it.
But now these people are now taking money from these widows. And they can't stand to be questioned with how are you getting your money.
Now, how are you getting money to Berako? Come now, let's go to our at the point now that you are acquiring my resources. It is expected from where I'm sitting and my argument. I wanted to do in fact my thesis. Liberation theology. I wanted to unpack Kuti. I feel like we have erred in how religion is done. Because if we could have followed it, ndikuzapita ku early Christian activities ya mu Acts. Ndikuzaona how the sharing was happening. Tinakanena kuti no pastor should be a multi-millionaire or billionaire and the church members are failing to pay school fees.
No way.
But churches would have pastors that are doing so well, but have broke members. Broke, right? But all right? Broke members. Mamemba lokuti akukanika kudya kuvutika kupita vile kuchechiko anthu akukanika kulipira mafees anthu akutani but mbusa wawo
andi gali modonena kuti
achita bwino alifuati kuti umanena kuti uje akutumikire for anthu ako but the gospel is supposed to liberate people. You liberate them in the spirit, but you also liberate them in the body.
Wow.
But okay. You see what happens? So there is an error. If you go to a church and you find it is just mbusa and muna prophet the rest akusauka kutani. Red flag. There's a problem. So I wanted just to address Patimene. But now let's talk about the sources. The problem with churches is they are never audited to a point that you can explain figures. It is ndipo kumalawi kunoku explain fase muntu amakhala kuti ni ndalama zimene we can't explain but we don't want to ask.
Pamene popo. Now is it wrong to say kunena kuti mwinaso anthu amene ali mu system mu ya governance anazindikira since we cannot audit the church, can we use them?
Because by the blind spot, everyone can pass through that blind spot. It's a blind spot many has been left for so long. And it's a blind spot many, if you look at it, that's why people antena mena makhala ndizi kubirozina zokuti when I think zawo zopempira sizabwino but my issues amaona ma blind spots ngata wao because the church these prophets and pastors are used to smuggle things in countries. People smuggling my drugs.
Yeah.
Through Zinzachali. Zikakuza chase and samazi gwira. Izo zaiba church. And akutusa zinthu through the name of the church.
Yeah.
So you find kuti munthu wangwamba mpingo from nowhere. Walemera. Mwena kuti akumatunda mazeke zikuenda banja ani partners. Ma partners wapanga kwasaka. Ma partners okuti sungagunde.
Mayas. So it simply means kuti these guys amenali mu system anaona so kuti ma blind spot awa tikhoza kwagwisa ntchito and ukukoso ukukuti khoza kugwisa ntchito. Bad. So achingira onena kuti you can't even question and it's a problem yonena kuti first tinazolowera kuti munthu amene akuyima ndikulimba mtima ndikufusa is a hater.
It's a hater. Now let's go to this. Sosi yavuta. And I think we need to ask these questions. Ndira munazipanga bwanji. If you ask ine bwentu kuzanza ntchito imene magwira fusa na ntchito magwira anapanga business zinaenda zinazitere because of kusakani ma sources yake. Timanamiza anthu kuti aya ndi mulungu atidalisa koma kumbali kuti kuziwa kuti ndramazo sinabwere through mulungu yo ya. It pains me.
All right.
Now let's go kumbali ya I wanted to unpack something that is very important, foundational on this matter. Is anthu. You know, Malawi, I don't know if people will like me, but I'll tell you one thing. Malawi atakumwona munthu akuphedwa apo, okuphaya ndikumuona. Koma as long as munthu okuphaya ndi ndalama, they will choose to say ndokupaya. That's why
uyo ndoyipa uyo amene akuphedwayo.
Uyiwe umamuyambiranje. Umasa iwe umakhalanji pampopo. You were eating space yake. Wakupanga bwino kupha kumene. Le mbala amene yoyo. So Malawians would defend anything. Watakhala kuti wabwesa evidence.
But as long
and I'll tell you kuti pa anthu ena ake amene ali whitelisted kumalawi fana ni blacklisted ma whitelisted. Right? Amene anthu kuti uyu ndoyipa. Uyu ndotani, right? Amene kungobwera ndikungonena kuti ndilitu ndi video. Akuluwa anachita izi maona akuchita tu ichimoli kusaweruzika huko. People be like AI. Tengeni chituchi pite nacho pa AI sense chichikacheke deepfake tukapeza ndikupeza kuti no video ndiyoona zitachitikadi zitachitikadi yanapangadi izizi I think anangofoka sikamene. I'm telling you, this is the Malawian. They will defend their man of God. They will defend their politician. They will defend them to the very end. Mpaka na kuzapeza kuti evidence ndiyoona. Kena kuzanga kuti ainu msamaji bwino sunachimwepo.
Akoma musaiwale kuti amathandiza so anthu munthu uyuyu. Nkhani je makagwera kuti imakagwera umeneko. So my question has always been kuti okay. So ndekuti ratio yake izikhala motani kuti ukhoza kubera lomwina anthu 100 koma ungonesesa kuti uthandiza anthu 20.
Yeah, no, it works like that. So the model of getting away with kuba mwena even kukaikiridwa kuti mwana kisizo kwenda bwino. Just make sure kuti you are public about it. That's why most of the times when you find anthu akumapanga za chifundo kwambiri it's too open. Check on them. There's something that they're hiding.
Yes.
And
I've always been saying this. I've always been saying kuti people buy sympathy.
Hey. And do you know kuti ife also people don't like this podcast. Of course not everyone. A lot of people love the podcast Podcastmalawi. But I was saying kuti but anthu ena ake kai sexy kena kama Podcastmalawi yanjani chifuna kusitima panga line ndi anthu ena ake amene amafuna. Titanguti lelo tiyambe kugawa kashi panopa topanga post kompana post guys palika 100,000 apa taika ni manamba anu
tikuponyereni
bro everyone will love us ndipo podcast yine ine nikazi white
liti.
So Malawians are easy to buy. That's the why antamata kuti namiza even kundali. We easy to buy. So you can just go there. So ka uli kumapemphero. You can easily go and say ine ndi easy cash, right? I'm enjoying and then I can just get a portion. Ndi ka 10 billion ntongotenga poka ka 10 million.
10 million.
Yeah, because sumatenga ka 10 million ndikuona kuti anthu kugawira anthu
kama ngati machali
kungotere. I'm telling you, everyone will praise you.
Exactly.
Everyone will be like, oh, our saviors come. Munthu wina kungobwera nkuzangoona kuti ayi guys, komatu munthu uyu khanga tiwachita cholakwikacho.
Uyuyo inu mwenewa ndi munthu wabwino mwenewa.
Zapezeka kuti evidence yapezeka akuma ndi Malawi. Zapezeka kuti komatu evidence yo inde ndiyeni
anthu muzajesa ndino anthu amene amajesa aja.
Bad.
Okay, so I want us to conclude this thing. So the prophet responded.
Yeah.
He responded. It was quite unfortunate because if it was me, I couldn't have responded.
Yeah.
But he responded. I think he was advised. No, bwana, tie nayo ni mumuyanka ameneyi. And for me, what touched me was good. Even the response itself was kind of misguided to me. You know, because I remember it was like, that's why you betrayed him, Malema. Bruh. Do you even know? Kuti nkulu yu anasiya bwanji kazandale zikanchani, stuff like that, okay? Now, ngani manager napita anthu tinakamba zinapita, and I think anachalira kuti apereke amenye joka. Nde tinaona kuti kunabwera the guy who used to be the vice president of the EFF. Freud Shivambu anabwera kuchali chiku nde nawo sanatulusa post yawo you can see kuti Freud Shivambu is actually the one who betrayed EFF because he left for
people don't understand because he anachoka kumeja sana bidi kuna ulikose. So who betrayed?
But Shivambu left EFF vice president and he joined the guy they have been fighting for years.
Yeah.
They've been fighting against the ideology of the same guy, and then later on he went to join him. So who betrayed who here?
So yeah, I think when you talk about being misguided, I think sometimes Antamabanga operate based on
yeah.
And I think in time manager panema advise mulembe is the prophet.
Oh.
No.
Was that intentional?
No, it's not intentional.
Okay.
And I want to say it on camera. I didn't mean the prophet. I said the prophet. But I wanted to say the prophet as he's called.
Yeah.
Because he's called a prophet to people that recognize him as a prophet.
Yeah.
For others, they don't recognize him as a prophet, right? It's the same. Even podcast. And then I get some So it's the same way. I felt like my advice anti-many yangana issues. Koma I think pena pake panachitika disola kuika.
Yeah.
Issue mene jai inakata sana anakosana yanke. Inakata bompaje.
Kwambiri.
Inakata koma zimezi nakambira wepa japo zichanguzapezeka kuti mukamba za betrayal from what basis?
How?
Kena ko mtu amene anapanga betrayal wabwera kuzampanga ku model.
And now the party chipani cha nkuluwi amene cha Freud Shivambu amene wabwerayo amene aja na ilimozi. Now when he joined the party, I think he's now the general secretary of the party. That's like a big position.
Big post. Yeah, it's a big post.
Chipani jazipanga distance itself from whatever he's doing.
Anabwera ngati yeka.
Because ifeyo tikuima pa mbuyo pa malamulo akusino kusakafi.
Adziko lino.
Ndipo sitingalole kuti ena ake mudzina la Mulungu adziberaso anthu.
And in here, I don't think Floyd uja. Mwina kumbaliko. Koma I don't think Floyd
kuti amaziwa imene chitika?
Kunenduza panga endozi. Ngati amapanga, I think I'm beginning to wonder how structured he is politically.
Yeah, exactly.
If he would do something like that,
exactly.
Kupanga kuchipereka chipani chake, kumata ngati, because they know, mata ngati iye, kuli anthu amene ayodandaula
kusafrika. Kwawo.
Anthu amene pali nkhani zogwiririra. Nkhani
zazikulu.
You can't atoka kuti ndi sister wa anthu ena ake. Ndi maya anthu ena ake amene akudandaulawo. Kuli nkhani zoti za ndalama zake. Anthu amene ajafuna kuti azankhani zamvedwe kuti izathe.
Adzazi kuti china chitika.
Iweyo munthu amene ukulimira kuti uzakhale mtsogoleri wa dziko limenelo. Kena kukupita ndi kumakapanga side ngati ukwampanga endozi munthu amene
akukayikiridwa. Sana zanene kuti ineyo sinalapa.
Komanso anaphwanya malamulo pochoka ku zikoko musaloledwa. So you're supposed to find a way politically, I find him good.
Now, I think it justifies why he left EFF.
Yeah, I think politically is not.
I think it justifies that move.
Politically, I doubt Floyd's position.
Yeah,
I think even as you guys no, I feel okay with him. We bank posts.
Exactly. Now because now he's on his own, and I was thinking about it. You remember how does this party miss it whenever muntu wawo wina wake is being implicated?
Oh, yes, is a good one, a good example.
You remember, right?
Yeah, no, kuti muntu nakamba kuti akabwera kuti mwamenye a party quite osasusa koma achiona chipani cha South Africa
muntu chande kumangidwa chipani ndikupita konko
chipaka support haya true said pomwe aona anthu awa aona kuti muntu wapangazi bwana nokuti this is maturity in politics.
Exactly.
Maturity wa no one.
Whereby you leave a person to face the consequences of their own journey, of their own decisions.
Yeah.
Munabanga jakude, okay, I think pitani mukayanke because and I think these politicians amadiziwa ife amala kupusa kwake.
Yeah, kupepera.
Because I question why people would say, there's a video of him.
Obanga inside violence.
And what are you saying?
But anyway, emergency meeting is about that. It's about to question what we think is right.
What
we think is ideal. What is not ideal. Ndizola kuika. Utusanga mama defend is ndizola kuika. Just because wapangayo alimbali yanu kama matani komaso ndingapanga side ndizola kuika. It means ndizola kuika.
And anthu awa makhala ntonena kuti alindi potential one day they will even be the leaders.
It's penifast.
Imagine knowing we've got this caliber, you did West Cardinal, ndeti naso generation it's supporting this. It's the next generation yama leaders.
Yeah, true. And I think anyway, we have an obligation to talk to Malawians.
Yeah.
Specifically those ones that are coming up, my ambitions also grow and so forth. These are the problems that are there now. I think they can be fixed. And of course, nkhani zaku kundale kumaso kumpingo nkhani zovuta kwambiri. And I'll tell you without fear or favor, if there is a place that abuses people's rights and mwena kumene kumachitika machimo akulu ndi kuchalichi kundale so utakala kwa bwino. And if people don't understand kuti we are kuchachi kwa anthu oyera nyani, go mukangocheka the Roman Catholic issues meza chitika ku Roman Catholic nkhani zokhuza masedome awa ndi zina zoterozo ndi ana ni milandu imene inatha pongo pasana ndalama.
Their cases.
Pamakesi akulu ndi apiteso akaoneso ka kuma penteko. Akaone apiteso kuma president aone ma issues ali machali. It's not like kuti kwemphera is not a good. No, kwemphera is a good thing.
Kwambe.
But unayo kuti because of lacking accountability makhala institutions questioned. Because people don't answer mafuso ngati mnachipeza bwanji chuma chanu. Because of safety imene makhalapo imene jayo, people are free to do whatever they want. And this is a big issue. So we can fix politics. But there's another side with the church, which also
that is protected. That is caged. You can't even touch the anointed one of God. Okay. Yeah, so I want us to move on. Now, it has taken us like a lot of time, but I think we were supposed to.
And I think one of my final takeaways on this matter is Malawians. Tikamagamba zokuti ife andi mindset change ndife anthu kuti sitikutukuka because we are not challenging my status quo. And one of the biggest status quo imene situipanga challenge is the belief system. Imene imatipangisa kuoneka anthu ombamba chimakachi munthu chisiwo, right? Siwo weni uja dzimai siwo koma kuti basa kupondedwa nda prophet naka kumpondela kubedi kuna kwake ndi prophet. And you like guys
zona zimenezi zona ndeti ngatuluke bwanji ngati ziko
singatukuke because ndife anthu amantha kwambiri. I think we're too superstitious. Simaopa kuti unaka kuti wayankhula mawu atitembereredwa everything. God protects his own.
I'm telling you, man.
Unaka kuti munawangofa wina wake 40 simuli undercover lingina yake sibweza anthu angogwa muso anthu amaenda bwanji sibweza ndongogwa why are you the only one attacked amene mufunika muzangu kuma ndi prophet.
Okay, let's proceed. I want us to talk about Panyanja.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Panyanja. Panachitika ngozi Panyanja. Nachitika ngozi Panyanja. I think my figures amene tikuziwa ndo anthu 11 amwalira. 17 anapezeka. We yet to find out. I think I haven't find out kodi munali anthu angati. Kodi bado ndanyamula anthu angati like in total. Kumano that's what happened. And ndizoti zabweresa chisoni kwambiri. Like anthu 11 ndi anthu ambiri.
Anthu ambiri. Even munthu mmodzi.
Yeah. Every life
matters. Yeah.
Matters, yeah. So we've been talking about mabwato athu apa nyanja ku Malawi kunoko like for so long.
Yeah.
We've got the MV Ilala. Imene it's over 60 chakuti years.
Imene matike maoneke ngati kuti timira.
Imene kuti kugwa imeneyo ndimene timadalira. Ndeti ndi mabwato ititi and even bwato itita zimaoneka ngati atika it's not registered kaya chani. You get it?
Yeah.
Now, I think what is it that we are doing to solve mavuto amene ali panyanja? Because we've got a whole district imene ili panyanja. It's not like we don't have business panyanja by. We've got a whole district with a good population of people. Imene imafuna so zochitikao. Why is it that we are not looking at it and thinking otherwise? How can we invest on this?
I think
and even protect the lives of our people?
Yeah, right? I think the first one is budget. Ministry of Transport.
Yeah.
Transport.
Yeah, transport, yeah.
Ministry of Transport. Kodi mu budget ya chaka ichi chimene yapangidwa pasi. Kodi akambapo yani zokhuza pamazi.
Yeah.
Because I fear for people's lives. Yeah. Honestly, I see Lala every time I see it. I usually do a prayer in my mind. Guys, because the Ilala thing can be the worst thing. We can talk about.
Akuri panopa inali naona post nakati inali ku service ya bajaka, so aipanga service ya bweleraso bajani.
Bro, I say, if you go back my MV, go back to history. Go and check MV Vipya.
Yeah.
Ina mira ja ukalonga oko. There's a big story of how people died.
Yeah.
Through the MV Vipya. Sizimakaza bwino.
I know.
Yeah, sizimakaza bwino. So sometimes people can joke about it and whatever. Kubwera my private players.
Yeah.
Mabwesa maboti, my speed tracks, my speedy boats and whatever, which is good. Come I don't know whether there's a budget. I don't know about it.
Think so.
Yeah, I think there should be a budget. If there is budget, I think it's your own.
Budget ilipo panopa ndio banga service Ilala.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
I say it's a big project. Yoti timaina tiziwe. Kuti there's a budget.
Yes.
Yoti katifuna tiguleka chishipi.
Yeah, because balanthu ambiri mbira amene amakhala thinking about even about nkhata big. Think
amadusa kwina kwakuti apite dera lina.
Yeah. So it's about making sure kuti we invest pa mazi patch. Because maybe one of the things that will tell us kuti mwina recklessness to an extent or mwina is lack of prioritization or whatever is many misayo yathu ilili. Misayo yathu meti maenda magali moto athu kan pansi ma death traps. Mwachisanza.
Mwina sitingapangeza pamazi tisanakonze base.
Bro, do you know what I'm also scared about infrastructure ku Malawi?
Yeah.
I should say this without fear of being compromised or anything. I fear of infrastructure so let me tell you, I fear for infrastructure imene makhuza ndi pansewu. Ndikamaona ka basi ka chani imene kuti ineme ndikuimvera basi sindikuona ngati kuti anthu analilede kuti fete kwenu. I fear for pamazi pacha. And I also fear for ndege zathu. Kuti koma yamboya. Compromise meti mapanga ife kunoko. Timapanga dizolondola apapa.
Kunoko moyo timaubechera amwene on every.
Ineni makhani manda. I fear for zipatala. Kuti komadi bankwala hodi dededa. Like I fear for so many things. And this is it's okay to be like me.
Yeah.
I mean, ndimani ndikakhala kuti ndi pa service ino seminary ya public. I say simple prayer.
Yeah. Nditetezeni. Chifachitetezo chisichokwanira.
Kuchiona pa chisichokwanira. So ndikamaona pa mazipacha, I feel like pali because amana zipanga police.
Yeah.
Kuma sangamango panga police. Anthu amazangozisiya singati pansewo.
Yeah.
Apolisi amamugwira munthu okuti ni pasake ndio yazaza. Koma chifoto apereka ndrama kuti
amaenda ndikia amagula nsewu.
Amadusa.
Wagula nsewu.
Pamene malamulo amaenda kuti munthu anthu angwire anthu saja acho semo.
Yeah.
Koma anthu amadani amapitilira. so ogula njira chimodzimodzi so panyanja paja amakhala kuti tazina mwina umaona kuti ngantapita bwanji kugwa mvula kutani azipita kwawo yapitani so sikuti pamakhala kuti palibe anthu amene opanga polisi. But this is a dangerous thing about lack of infrastructure, human resources. Zikuti panga limit and it's costing us lives.
Come say, why is it after so many years we are even failing Chabwino kubeza my investor?
I think my investor
Chabwino supporting local investors. Akulu siku ni ndalama. Pali company tagulani matishipi.
I think ndikuona ngati kuti investing kumalawi kunoko sitima iganiza bwino kwambiri. Ndikuona ngati there's an opportunity for investing my areas ambiri. Titapanga invest kugula mabonds a government kukonzera misewu. Titapanga invest kugula let's say ka infrastructure ngati imene kuthandiza nawo. Koma zinthu zimakhala zilipo, more opportunities alipo through I think in the PPPC. Public private whatever. I think there should be a way where even a Malawi atakumana pamozi ndikupanga koma there's a lot of blame game makuchika kunoko. It's about dziko chanchani boma sikupanga kanthu. I think sometimes chizi lola boma kupumako pang'ono. Chifukwa boma lija mwezi ukamata limakhala kuganiza makosti mabilu ndambiri koma kula anthu amene ali ndalama kuti azithandize kuti alimbane ndi kuthandiza nawo kupanga investment infrastructure wawo amakhala ali busy basi pa Facebook kumagawati
because you look at it in my worry is kuti there is a whole business opportunity by Baja. Because I remember I was working on a certain project ya fisheries. So when there's a time kuti tipite tikapange supervision kulikoma right ndekuti the only bwato la safe I think inali Likoma Express okay ndi ili na imene makanga the ambulance ya kuchipatala you get it right ukangomisa ziwiri zizi ndekuti ukwera yani and Likoma Express is quite expensive it's not like we win a local person can and even and ogwira ntchito even out amagwira ntchito likomako amboma kaya ena mwina sanga kwaniseso because mtengo wake I think the last time I checked nali kuti kandi 80,000 kwacha kupita ndikubwera you get it so mwina ajinailala mwina anthu amalipira 10,000 you get it so you can see kunena kuti why is it that for years tikukanika kupeza timabwato tingapo katama because chilala chati chimanyamula kandi capacity yake ndi 400 kuma chima sensor over that
so in fact ndimati ndikaiona every time I see a picture of Ilala I say a prayer for Malawi. We don't want to see that tragedy. We don't want.
Why are we not investing on that? Why? Are we not attracting investors? Ndikwapasa ma conditions to favor. But can you guys come?
Two things for me. One, nimeona ngati kupanga invest kumalawi kuno kutauchitika kumachuluka anthu ena kuchuluka nzero
okujapo
ofuna kuti ajepo paina paliponse ndifuna nthandize ndifuna so ndikugayireso cash divine my guys.
Do you remember kunali project ya mango chisite nthawi ya DPP ase chini chose chinali muoda chanchane unfortunately akuti the guy amene amapanga fund the investor died. Mwana wake anabwera pa ground amwene akuti akudabwa amwene anthu oti ajepo koma palibe chimene akupanga chilaini amwe wandoti mwapasa mamiliyoni awa mamiliyoni mwana ati anangoipanga abandon itu project kuti ayi izi zingotani so I think ndekuti zinthu zina zimene zimalepheresa ma investors ndi zinthu ngati zizi
mitsikujapo and I think I say two. The other thing is private sector kumalawi kuti ndimaona ngati guys kaya boma imalipasa mtendero waukulu because private sector kumalawi kunoko instead of kuti kumangobwera ndi kumangodumpha ndima tima events titongoti basi tikakhala pa gateway tidumpha titani kati imba nyimbo kati panga chani private sector imayenera kuti corporate social responsibilities ikhala yazinthu zooneka ngati zimene zizi because if you tell me kuti kuna akangobwesa shipi imene ingamayende pa nyanja ya Malawi or atabwesa ngati kungothandiza atabwesa ngati kuti ndi business let's say kuti kandi NBS yagula chishipi as part of branching out business yawo kuti ikula. Those could be the things. I think my areas are investment amene timapanga focus teneti ayangane bwino you see and because some of the things even when from a government perspective is also registered as if antu akamaenda as if ala life jackets asamangovala antu matu alistoka kama life jackets as if ala
I don't think Ilala can have my life jacket 400 chakuti kwa muntu wali bila 10,000
mwina ali nawo
I say, I'm telling you, pakantu pamene pachapa ineo it troubles me. Kwambiri. When and chifanya kupesa zoti antu they have been forced kumayuza mabodi tomweti toti kutika pa road traffic ya mazi.
Yes, kugwira.
Pasi oefu singaduse pasi oefu ya mazi. Singaduse bwato loti naona bwato iwene kaleko because they have to have their boats registered. They have to have their boats ikuoneka kuti ili water worthy.
They have to be fit to.
Kuti it's fit kuti kozo panga seo pamazi pacha. And bwato loti ati ma life jacket okwanira ngati mena amati panina tikakauti tibe spare tire chani akuenera ikale bwato nditu, but because of tilibengati kuti structure longosoka pamazi paja. That's why tikumango use timabwato tinadili lose
bwato nasmelinga
bezeke as long as it's selling, let's use it. And I'm telling you, we are risking it. I'm telling you, I fear kuti tsiku lina lake ndithu is singakonde kumazinena. It's
not a good thing to say, and it's one of the reasons I've never even imagined, even in my DEBATESALIMA project, kulikoma and whatever. I've said, like, guys, I think it's Niva.
Yeah.
It's Niva. Staranga nizozo. Yenja nshito yenjani. Bas, guys. Nika kalaba nyumba. Ndibase ni surveillance jaga deliberate diziva. Pamemba jai.
So I think Mark said something. If the biggest ship that is ferrying people from one place to another, it's in that condition, it tells you the condition of the people that we have that are overseeing the institution. Even our traffic, you get that. If these principles were there, organizations were there to check the system is actually working and not just making money, I think it could have been better. And that's why kunyanjagu siku patsidwa attention kwambiri, because it doesn't make more money as mena mabangira kunsewa mchifaka traffic amunsewa kupanga ndalama zambiri apa madziwa adzonanga ribe.
There is a lot of money pamazi. I think and do you know what it's Motor Angel who runs Ujeni? Who runs Ilala?
Serious?
Yeah.
So I say, I'm orange.
Drama zimene yali nazo bagay.
How many contracts are these guys having?
The question is, anajabo this.
Bamene kuli contract we sainido iberekedwe ku Motor Angel. Ndi ndani amene. So it's I tell you kuti umaziwa chifukwa chimene boma linalikalwa limathesa ma contract. Because I'm telling you, I'm telling you, panopa, pakozo kaudi pali ma contract ena kumina nasandwa 10 years ago, there are people that are cashing out every day.
Mpaka na lolo.
Oti mwina natuluka mbuma kalikale.
Mpaka na lolo imalowa bendera.
Kuma panopa ndrama pa mwezi paja imalowa. Transaction ikachitika pa. Ngati kuli deal ina yake oti ndi amafuta yobweresa mafuta oti nasandwa 2019. Ndi nthawi ya DPP. I'm telling you. There are people that are cashing out from 1 liter yako ukangotira leroli. As long as amena mabulisa mafuta ndi amene amena nasainira. Nchifa yake even olokuchedwa konse kumene kumachedwa nkhani zogula mafuta. Nkhani yake tusuti makao udi baya la kudulisa. Kuma nkhani makao kusamvana kwa inu ndi ine kuno.
Kodi Ujeni. The late Gugu Gondwe atachoka from Minister of Finance and kunabwera wina. And anajira kufoto kuzuri palizina zake. If he doesn't go through that big man, kumana kuno sisienda. Until you bring him back, alipo amama mvana now.
It's crazy, guys. Mama kama brokers, brokers mess. Anyways, let's move on. But it's unfortunate good people are dying, and people died. Zima unonga so even tourism.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not a good thing.
And even if you can market, if you say good, we want to go to tourism, you have to figure out bagantu azibwera kuno. People would still want to visit Likoma. Akapita bwanji kulikoma ako antu mulidi bwalo limozloka. Loti la chizungu loti antu akozo kwera. Akapita bwanji bene kwa mulibe proper transport system yapa nyanja hapo to take the people from one place to another.
Quite unfortunate, man.
The next story I want us to talk about Salima Sugar Company. Salima Sugar Company panova. I don't remember the last time naona sugar wa Salima pansika. The past month pansika panalibe sugar. Kunali miseria sugar and tumakangatana sugar and all that. That has been the song for like a year now. Kudi sugar usowa. But if you look at it, sikwa kubezeka sugar wa Salima sugar.
Yeah.
Kulingana ati kukoti. Tunena bano yoti kaya wasumandi ndani yokuzana kuti munthu amene akusogolera Salima Sugar Company akuti ali ndi udindo umene soyenera.
Yeah.
Can I read that one?
Just do a read.
I think iyi ndi werenge.
Yeah.
Iyi ndiwerenge.
These things because zikulowa.
Yeah. So it says Gudi, a legal battle is unfolding at Salima Sugar Company after a recent court order challenged the validity of its leadership structure, specifically the position of executive chairman. Currently, the position, which does not exist in the company's structure, is held by Wester Kosam, who is also the CEO of the company. The ruling by Deputy Chairperson of the Industrial Relations Court in Mzuzu, Anthony Kapaswichekaya, states that SSCL memorandum and articles under Article 100 provide for the position of managing director. Reads the ruling dated April 1, 2025. Mr. Kosam states that the position of the executive chairman emanates from the same Article 100. The court will need to understand during trial as to whether the said executive chairman position does exist and what is the role of the position, if at all it exists. Again, just on the face of it, the position of executive chairman seems not to be provided for in the memorandum and articles of the respondent. I feel like it's just a diversion.
But I'll tell you one thing. You know, kuti lero. Umuntu arafuna kusumira utakusumira muno bwino.
Yeah.
Because pali ma technicalities zambiri amene timasaina ma contract olaminali ma ka even establishment ina yose. So utangonyamuka pano pangona kuti okay NBS Bank. Ndaichula kwambiri no. Wina FDH ka FCB. Inuyo muli ndi vuto lakuti apa munaiwala chakuti makaona anthu popanga malamulo aja opanga zina kama tana naiwala koma it doesn't mean kuti whatever that is happening students na izolakwika koma ma technicalities ndi amene anthu amawinira milandu kuno. And I think makota ku Malawi they dwell kwambiri on technicalities, so I wanted to talk about the courts koma maybe in summary kwambiri to your issue. Whatever that is happening, all these court issues, we all know why it's happening. But in Dalama, and people want to benefit out of the money. So, because of that reason, people are jumping on these things. But I think Salima has been Salima Sugar Company. The company many. You can mango is an example. You go to Ngozo, see this business. Zingateka, zitakuteka. But for the Mulion holo alo okuda utani enaga
luka nzeru
sikuja kuti ankatenga ndalama china mwana veka
ndobene ko
ine mwana veka ndani mwina
ali milando ina mwana veka amene anali wa ku treasury amene anali so ujeni secretary to the president
ankatenga ndalama ndisilachiti
kuli malone oti tikubweza tunena pa
anangira through Salima. It's crazy
komanso ndi kuti dalisoka bambe that time anali kuti ndi Reserve Bank governor. Those transactions cannot happen without him knowing.
But anyway, I wanted to talk about something else, which is about the courts. My worry about courts, they go for technicalities.
Yeah.
Then makoti amaiko ena. Amena matako yona nkhani, tukipanga judge based on I think mateknika atere koma my judgment.
Yes, ni many zintu zili apa.
Uyoyo mwina law might not be within the technical.
Yes.
Muma words, muma structures, muma articles. Koma it was necessary to do X. And ikanaga mbele maminisa board yenage. Then this was by kunoko mona ngati kuti we go by technicals. I'll tell you this because I've not kalaso mu bujirogos ndaina yake. Osati kumangidwa. Kumanaga kalapa mu court. Right? Time when I go to school. I remember that time we were supposed to have paid school fees. Okay. Zozo University. I still remember that issue. And the judge. So I was with a bunch of students.
Yeah. Okay,
fine.
Ku industrial relations code.
Okay, oh you mean.
Kumene kwa danda ulidwaso kwambiri kuti kuli ma. Okay, jabwino.
Antu nayo kuti timaina ulipira school fees.
Yeah.
Naipeka Gulu. Anaina ulipa school fees izali vilidwe pa memo pa 16. Na March kaimene. Graduation is a kalaba yani mu August.
Yeah.
Right? Now, pa 16 pa jaba kwana.
Yeah. And similarly.
Antu sina libiri. Ile nayo ukasaka fees bila kwana. Namba la memo di ulelo. Mala yake nacho komeni kuchoka school fees. Mala yake
a day after.
And my guys ampili pia na in fact ndinafika 16 ipo
koma
ndafika ujako napeza mtu akuseka ndandoza kuti ase uzangolipira mawa magayizi analipira yanchani wina 2 days and after yanchani amwe masiku a graduation akwana
doba maina anu
palibe kamba kupanga negotiate paja pamvekeri aito simunabwerese munthawi yake koma guys it's about ndabwesa ndalama napeza lawyer anthu lawyer chani tikuzimva pepo lawyer chanachacha mahanzi anyamata school kusakaliza ndalama pepo kupita mu court radi msamemcha nanakayima nawo because I think ndimakhala kuti mankulu awabili koni nkhani inaenda bwanji ulongosola ngati ine kesi yayineyo ndikunena chilungamo because pali receipt kunena kuti ndinalipira mamawa cha ma8 wasiku linawo right. I feel like it's justice and the lawyer anapanga argue yonja I think it's justice kuti anthu amwalole anthu anapanga and school ndiovuta mafizo ndiovuta anthu analipira sikuti anthu asanalipire analipira alole napange graduate alright tinaluza mlandu tinaluza mlandu ndi university nawina akuti anangona kuti mu judgment since they were supposed to pay on the 16th and they didn't pay. Now my judgment I'm like justice has to look at my scenarios kumuona kuti what is he benefiting if mapanga benefit yani ori nenda bweza chaka cha mtoto serious I did 1 more year ku university just because napereka physio a day after
ma 8
so it's
sikuli na hata kubweza
so university
okay so what I'm trying to say is kuti ine maganizo manga kunkhani yaku Salima Sugar Company this guy Kosam ndamene anabweresa mpungwe
nthawi jana zayankhula ngati anali whistleblower so when a whistleblower anthu akamba kumpanga ataki kumanguza kuti
bas
ayi komano ona I had to follow through it. I think number one, Guliwina Agamati Gabinda, Damana Gabanga file, he was fired. So it was until he was fired, Amawabanga instigate this move. One day, come now.
I'm going to Salima Sugar Company.
Yes, he was a chief security officer or something.
Okay.
So he was fired, he wanted to return, then Anambweza, then you already know. But now there's a problem with this guy. He is the CEO and he's also a chairman of executive.
Yes.
Which are two positions not to be held by one person.
Exactly. And this man is
So I'm like, okay, as much as Gugu Timazori Jana whistleblowing, but now here there is abuse of power based still because this is not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And this didn't come to light until somebody who was benefiting from the system didn't benefit from it.
Okay. I get it. I hear you. It's straightforward. I never said the fact that this guy is holding like kind of two positions. First, I think Anabwera ngati chairman. When the CEO contract yake data, I think over Osankao anango musankaso data ni kudapitirize. Zimene amanena McDonald ababa nena kuti nthawi zina zake we focus kwambiri on the technicalities. I was saying kuti zimene zimachitika ku Salima Sugar Company sizinaziwike until this guy came in. This guy received threats.
The funny thing is zinzoipa zoto zikuziwika kuti zinachitika zapanga cripple company. Now you see kuti anthu angobwesa ma technicalities.
So deal with the person.
All I'm saying is
they are gonna deal it.
I know
in that formality.
And the problem ndingona kuti kunoko tine majeje ziyangana nkhani beyond ma technicalities.
Exactly.
Because kumalawi kunoko people thrive on technicalities. I will tell you utawapezeka kuti ukuluza mlandu chifukwa kuti iweyo pa invoice yakoyo panali 01 instead of 0 kazi.
I'm
telling you that's a minor issue. Koma nkhani iyo munthu anakula kwiradi.
Exactly.
Munesana upange pay. Koma ifo invoice mine kuyamba ndi invoice number chani. Ndira invoice mine ndi invoice number. Invoice mine unatumiza iwe ndi invoice number chako. And ineyo sinapereke ku invoice yako. So kundisumiranji. I'll pay for this invoice so that crazy.
So that's why I'm saying kunena kuti nkhani ndikumvese sadi inde kuti nkulu ikayali ndi maudindo awiri kaya chanchani whatever pakufunika kuti kaya mwina udindo wina komano nkhani ndi yoti apapa the system that he is fighting apapa si akulimbana ndiyo amene anakapanga lodge urgent complaint kaya kuti kapinde kaya ndandani si akulimbana ndo amene ayi wanevese because of this person amwenya nachoka kuti ku Salima Sugar Company. Because of this person kunaziwika kuti ku Salima Sugar Company kuli billions 20 chakuti billion loan yoti Malawi tikuibweza. because of this person. Asana bwele muntu yu Salima Sugar Company imasekedwa. This guy was the one amene anachita ukapanga plead kuti can you just give us a chance?
Kuti mwina
we should redeem the
this person was receiving life threats. This person.
Muntu amene yekera akufuna kumpanga attack on technicalities. Do you see what is happening?
You get it,
fine,
eh?
Now that makes sense. Because in here, I think in the Naiona, okay, how is he holding two positions?
Yes.
But even him holding positions, now it makes sense for him to hold both of these.
You get it, eh?
They wanted to. The thing is, they want everyone to forget about
so ababa it's like they are buying us kuti akala ndi milandu iwiri amina akala ndi mipando iwiri position awiri yeka chairman yeka CEO ande kuti ma benefits akuja asiyanjani kuti muiwale zonsezija
For somebody like me, I mean, I'm like, this guy is in the wrong.
You get it, eh?
You guys to explain, I'm like, okay.
Exactly. Okay. That's what is happening here. So kunoko ukakazoti pachitika china chake gang imene kulimbana nayo, the system that you are fighting with,
they will look at the documents.
Ama kuyangana iweyo akupezerere pena pake.
Contract yako.
Wanivesa. Uyu atakumpeza kuti anasaina china chake mola kuika. Wanivesa. Komano chosecho they can't come like in limelight ndikunena kuti komatu nkulu yatabwera amwenye anapita. Ukuwo amwenye they were amazunza anthu okuda amatukwa na anthu okuda zochitika. Wanimvesa? Koma palibe amene amalankhula, palibe imene imachitika. Tunena pano amwenye anapita. Wanimvesa? Amapanga export sugar illegally. Malawi munosa magulisa Salima Sugar ndumapita kunja, ndrama zija ndumakalowa ku account ya munthu. Osati account ya Salima Sugar yayi. Wanimvesa? Today we are not talking about that.
Now, yeah.
Today we are talking
now I understand.
Today we are talking about how someone is holding two positions. This
is how the game is played. The game is played like this.
That's how we do it.
The game is all about blackmail. That's why every leader they're always blackmailed.
Yeah.
Blackmailed by this. And they find something. They find something to blackmail. But anyway, I hope he survives, man.
Yeah.
No one is an angel. Whatever you're uncovered is crazy.
Crazy. Okay. So, I think my guys are Wojen. I must. You remember that Katuma Gambirana Panotikamagambirana za Fertilizer? Tuko mama guy. Ndizonda ndikuti sitingapeze formula ya Fertilizer what ithandiza ife ngati kwathu kuno. Womverera dotira kwathu kuno. Research ndi kwathu kuno.
Yeah.
Ndikumpanga kunoko. Kuti tiseve ndalama za nkhani zimene timaononga tikakhaza kuti tikugula chani? Tikugula Fertilizer.
Yeah.
So recently I saw kuti my guys aku must apanga kafukufuku wawo. Apeza ka formula ndithu kabwino kuti kakhoza kutani? Kakhoza kupanga Fertilizer kuti kunoko ndikuthandizika naye.
Yeah.
Tikamakamba za food security. There's that also aspect ya Fertilizer.
Yeah.
Fertilizer upezeka more cheaper, upezeka mwina anthu ambiri because first kulima for the Fertilizer kudula and all that. Now we've got these opportunities. Kwathu konkuno.
Yeah.
What is it that we should do to make sure that we capitalize on these things?
Great. First thing first. I am of the view that Trump still magwisa ntchito ma university zathu.
Yeah.
Because my university muli ma intellectual property documents.
Abwino.
Okuti kwatenga ndikapanga extracted kwaponya pena bagi.
Ndi ma solutions in my shelf.
Solutions ambiri zakuteka. The good thing with Must is and I think the I'm not a chancellor wow. The vice chancellor rather.
The woman.
The address Malata. Yeah. I think she's outgoing. I'm a funa kuti chikachitika achionese. Mayishi ni mwina masuda nsamapanga ya. If you go ku university ukapeza zinthu.
Okay.
Ukapita sokuni ukapeza zinthu koma ngoti mwana wake zimangorenga nsogolera amene wa vocal.
Yeah.
Mazuonesa zinthuzi. That's why it's very important to always say good things about yourself.
But also, how do you research about something that you know can rescue or can solve a problem and then just be silent about it?
Antwana, they are doing something kupanga kumbali.
Because if I research about a solution ya dziko, I have to bring it open.
Yeah.
Kumano mwina pali china chake chimene anthu amaopa.
Yeah, anthu amachita mantha. Of course nkhani zimakhala zina zomwe zokuti anthu afuna ayendane pansi muna anapanga solution sine. There's so many things happening.
Yeah.
And I think I will leave them there. Koma ndimafuna ndikukamba my investors osewa if they can be looked at.
Yeah.
Atopezeka andi ma solutions ambili.
Ambili.
And I think most of the things that tinazo Malawi kuno zimene kudandaula zikungofunika.
Yeah.
Wina wakatani abwerepo ndikungona kuti tenti yang'ane bwinobwino and find kuti ma solutions ndodani.
Yeah.
Or must kupeza this I think it's an organic fertilizer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, solution mina afuna akuyipanga explore apa. This is good
Kwambiri.
and they need to be commended. Apanga prototype tiena aipange push akaandika ndalama private sector talowa ni menemu pa mutu apanga mu investing kuzapanga ndalama zambiri later on instead of mapanga kunja mapanga konkuno and then we make a lot of money and everyone is making money. Komanso some of these solutions zimaona ngati zikhala open kwambiri. Ele zikhala kuti zili open to everybody to invest in. Uzisa kuona mutu kuti kumasta panga chakuti. Okay fine. Kufunika ndalama zingati? Kufunika 2 billion. Okay fine. Chabwino bwana ningoponya mboka 5 million kangaka.
Yeah.
Kuna lisi mkamaza gawana inese nizapezeka ndipena bagi. Yeah, it's very important.
It's their investment opportunity.
Yeah, we need to take advantage of this.
Kwambiri.
And anthu amene amasokoneza zinthu amene amapanga procurement chabe. Timena kuti innovation imapanga safa for procurement.
Yeah.
Iwe ndo procurement. Anthu amene mana kuti we want to buy something that is tested, competitive. My solutions ngata if they can be tested this fertilizer or urea and whatever, they cannot stand.
They can't, yeah.
Panopa.
Yeah.
Koma given a chance, given the opportunity kuti they are getting business, they will keep on improving.
But my question is because I heard someone saying kuti do you know kuti ma fertilizer amene takati umagula kunjawa adonongera nthaka?
Oh yeah, so nkhani nthaka in serious. I'm not an agricultural specialist. Koma I've heard kuti ma fertilizer ambiri awa kumabwera kunoko amatiwonongera nthaka.
Yeah.
That's why it's very important to go for organic.
Yeah.
Fertilizers because amathandiza kupanga rejuvenate.
Okay.
We have Mbumba.
Mbumba here. Hi Mbumba.
Wachizungu kwambiri. Amakanika werenga jewa. No.
Yeah. So because I think in it nkhawa yanga yakayomani yomafika neno koma guys dotiti ndikwathu konkuno.
Yeah.
Right? Because honestly dotiso ndilosiyana ndi ma area kumalawi.
Yeah, ndosiyana amafunika kukhala mu context ndikumvetsa ma issues athu.
Doti limene lili ku nkhotakota ndi doti limene limapezeka kunsanje mwina likhozokhala losiyana.
Yeah, maybe.
Limene limapezeka kunchinji kandi kukaronga kandi kuchitipa likhozokhala doti losiyana.
Yeah.
Which means kuti pakwena padzikhala kafukufuku onena kuti okay tiyeni kafuku fertilizer uyo tampeza tinatenga doti lakuti tinakatenga doti limene limapezeka area yakuti ndipo tapanga ma product awawa. Fertilizer uyu mungogwirisira ntchito anthu aku north nokha.
Yeah.
Uyu anthu aku central you can use.
Yeah.
Uyu ukuso mkhoza. It means unena kuti you are solving a problem, your own problem.
Yeah.
Right? And kafukufuku oti mwapanga nokha. Ndikuona kuti this works and what remains is funding.
True.
Can you fund them?
True. So yeah,
can you find people to invest.
These are original things, but I've told you the procurement issue is a big issue. When you're looking at
which part? Make me understand.
Kind of good. My innovations, amaka kuti sana kuhime kwambiri. Kuti afikepo kuti mukapanga company. Simuka mukapita pa market makatenga ma product source. Ndimukatenga my innovated products.
Kuti uyu ndi ndani oyo? Wayambaliti.
Tukufuna mana kuti we are buying my products amene ali ndi
history experience.
So innovation imafunika kuti mulole kuti mupange, it's not a compromise. Koma you make a decision that is strategic and you invest by making sure kuti mukwathandiza so anthu to grow. So within government they can do that. Koma so anthu amapanga ma organization amene anthu amagulira anthu fertilizer and whatever.
Apita akagule kwanthu.
Azigula kwanthu ngati amene ajawo so that the university can make money.
Yeah.
Kena kwazipitiliza nkupanga refine the product kena kuzaka kuti ndi product yabwino. My innovations ambila ku Malawi kuna makanika chifukwa chokuti anthu sitimagula
kunoko.
So anthu amapofuma kasaka ma markets kunja. So it's a big issue. Procurement is a big issue when it comes to innovation.
Yeah.
Because that innovation in the procurement imene mapanga ndalama zimene munthu chaka bwederese kupita so kulabu kwake nkukagwira to come back with a product.
But I think it's something that can be because panopa maligrations apa nopa kuli malamulo onena kuti mbuyomu chifukwa choti zimene umanena kuti we look for experience yanchani mbuyo muma SMEs amapanga safa.
Yeah, some of us don't even
in business serious because the thing was like mulindi kuthekera, do you have capacity?
Yeah, kumabwera ma company ota ndi 40 years experience.
Yes.
You can't even compare mutu wangubwera 1 year experience.
Exactly. So panopa pali malamulo amene amapanga accommodate ma SMEs.
Yes.
You get it? Which simply means kuti they had to be like reviewed. They want to I think we can adjust here and there. I think also going forward there has to be an revision of
innovation.
Yeah. Okay, can we please give mpata kwa anthu ngatawa? I think mwina ama innovations zako zokhazo they also fall mwina kwa ma SMEs.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Because I'm telling you, universities are holding the keys of Malawi.
Exactly.
Universities Malawi.
Exactly. Kwambiri. But it depends. Why is it that we are not benefiting from that?
One is my vice chancellor na masabanga pogosa. My guys, as has banga pogosa. Or muna there has to be my inter-university competitions.
Exactly.
Aditandiza. Kuran tazeka competitive. Tazeka like visibility.
Yeah.
Antoma ngupanga zinto basungupanga graduate.
But I think for me, now that this is now like a third institution, imene yabwera poera nkhani ya fertilizer.
Yeah, and there's something happening. I think it's on the region in the
Luana. Yeah, ananena Luana anapita ku parliament anakauza committee ya agriculture. Kuti fail tufuna 8 billion.
But they have asked for
murati pa 8 billion tipanga jani tipanga fertilizer. There's jani is it Presken already nde yakunga factory kale. Yakunga factory kale, you know? And now for me it's like, okay, can we see these guys? See how we can help them.
Yeah,
if we are really serious about solving a problem ya jani.
Yeah, vuto ndongona kuti the procurement ya fertilizer ibitokhala kuti muna pa makanthu na mapindula apo.
Yeah.
So if titambe kupanga kunkuno nakisa Malawi timavuta. Tiona kuti say deal ndikupasa kuma payment ngodi alowa. I'm out. Kwa kaka kupusana kuti yomati chani.
I think it's so good. Malawi can also our local investors that jump on something like this.
Yeah,
because
course.
We know the billionaires around that are building my feeding station at Roto, Abduma,
private sector is totally private sector. I'm telling you, timango pita kuboma, but boma really stretched gani. Kubantu akupanga post ma billions in profits. I don't know
they're not investing. They are not investing. What are they doing with the monies?
I think I think it can ku Jenny ku hit or miss it. Malawians, we have this tendency what is local is not advanced. And it's not advanced because we don't show support. You'd see it in the celebrities or even our politicians because we don't respect them. Out there people are not going to respect them because every great thing has always had a base. So if the base cannot support you, you're not going to build it kutsogolo because the foundation is everything.
So I think ango yake kai yonena kuti ma private companies.
Yeah.
Let's look into these opportunities. Takamba nkhani yapa mazi pa nyanja pali ndalama. A National Bank kaya FCB anthu mapanga ma 100 chakuti billion.
Samango apa santhu maoje ni ngongole
zakasha. Zoti sakupindula nazo sonkomwe.
Zoti manguita na bank ngokuita naye
msatenge ndrama. Go tapita ndi pa nyanja paja. Pali ndalama pa nyanja paja.
Ise yomwe.
Nkhani izi za fertilizer izi. Invest in these areas. I'm telling you. Last one. Kufamu Football Association of Malawi. Tampase Mike. Football Association of Malawi. Kwa bukankhani yokuza ma officials enaka kumene koko. Onena kuti amalankhula ndi amauza azimayi akumene kuti ngati mufuna kuti tikupangeni mwakuti wenera mutipase ndithu mutipase tailongosera ndimene munaimvera mwina ife tikubisa mawu talongosera ndimene munamvera nkhani
mwina ine naimvera mwa bias
nenani mene munamvera nkhani
more feminist
nenani mene munamvera nkhani.
Okay, there was a story about this lady. Is she in the Scorchers? Yeah, she's in the Scorchers.
Yeah.
So the story that I picked up was Guti Anabanga traveled. I think they had traveled and they had lodged into a hotel.
Yeah.
And should be one of the officials.
Akufam.
Yes, akufam.
Ade adawudi mtantiko kaya.
Acha bwino dzina so
Lilipo dzina.
Yeah,
It's been
so,
in the news.
La bwana lipo.
It's
the
been in the
lady
news.
akunena kuti yes in Dubai. They were in Dubai. Yeah?
Okay.
Was it Dubai? Yeah. So
It's not South Africa, I think.
or something like that. But anyway, so she was in her room one evening, and then the doubt guy analemba message kwa the lady. She's like, anafusa uli kuti ndili ku room wanga. And goes like, can you please come to my room? I need a massage.
Serious?
Yeah, I need a massage. I'll leave my hotel room open for you to wait rubbing. Yeah. So the lady was like, no, I can't do that. Because like, but all your friends have gone shopping. Why are you not going shopping? If you need money for shopping, I got you.
Sure.
Got you.
I got you.
Got cash.
I got you, baby.
All you have to do is you need to come to my room, give me a massage. I'll give you some money for what?
Wow.
For shopping. And so she was pretty much exposing the situation. Yeah. And I know she's not the only victim to that.
Has the guy been wamisidoka?
Akuti ampanga suspendi. Chifukwa there was a story going around with yukanga wapita nawo so kuza school chanchane anaena kapita kandi ku Ethiopia kandi kuti kaya chanchane nde afamu ananena kuti mkulu amene sanapite nawo tamuyimisa kale facha ma allegations amene alipo kuti tikufufuza kale.
Yeah.
But I think nde kuti what happens now is kuti akankanina choncho sinde kuti mwina trip inayo sangantengeso ameneyo.
Sikana.
Tirekeze kuti mwina sana lankhule. Yet sana bwere poeta ndikulankhula. Nde anankanina bwana aja. I think it's next trip ndio tamatama atopeza kuti angukusiya pa chifukwa chosaziwika bwinobwino.
Yeah, it's very possible. It's possible. So, yeah, it's very possible. Actually, we've seen many cases like this, and I think not just in Malawi, hey?
Tibaseneza ku Malawi.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Tukuzwa muli nazo.
I'm just saying, Kudi, it's very much a thing, Kudi, like if you don't comply to to these conditions, then it's very possible your job is also compromised.
It's on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So mukugambirana jani kuma femini chanchaneko. Sikuli heated kumeneko.
Do you know you just assume that there's a feminine
Family samango menya na makuma.
Samagriza.
No, but I think in a way kwa Google my issues are a lot of abuse of power has been a big issue in Malawi, and what pisses me off the most is how it's so difficult for people in higher positions to just learn these are simple etiquette, small things like this. Like, why are you trying so hard to sleep with someone who is under you? Do you not know that compromises everything when it comes to the job itself? If your libido is so high, why are you failing to just contact someone else to come and service you? Why does it have to be somebody who is under you specifically? For like years and ages.
Mabanki menemu, mabungwe.
When I go pepper, be like, Mr. Kudosa, they were above 18 or whatever.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
That's stupid because people don't understand. Once you have a higher power, under you is a no-go zone. Is a no-go zone.
Yeah.
You remember there was a story of the CEO McDonald's?
Okay.
Who was fired?
Yes.
Yeah, and of course anakuwa darasa ni kazi yose. So kazi anayi kuti mu company momo. Kuma yeye CEO. Kuma fora anapanga naye relationship. Anampanga fire. Because pamene pamayambira mphamvu zako. Kuti mphamvu zanga ndize zimene kumpangisa munthu panga decision yo ndikonda ine. Sipamaziwika. So utomaya nkula zambiri kuti anandikonda foni good game and no done
it's your power always has to come to
the play. Power will always come to your advantage.
Kuma nonde zimavuta bwanji kunoko kuti we these people like go scot free without being penalized.
No, kuma let me just say kuti kuma
kamene makauti mina seko so ya decision makers yoso now they are into it.
Kunoko machimo akulu kumalawi kuna mene machiti.
Ndi akopa kuti tisagenda Geoff ngati feo so.
Yeah, kuma I think I can not saying
amangomwita nazawo choti yakuma next time tangwesesane inu simaona ana kuti osavuta chanyachana mulimbana ndi awo madiscipline ngati amenewo tapitane kwa ana ngati awo
kwafanawa. But all I can say from where I'm sitting under mata iyi ndino kuti this is the reason some men don't want their women to work.
Yeah.
It's because every working environment is a predatorial is a circle or a den of predators. Imene anthu amene samawona kuti uyu ali committed komanso uyu sakundifuna. They go for anything.
Apanga china chilichonse.
You know, this is many office alili and the office mwina mutizi makalo tu pepera natake because mayamba nizona kuti how you know akuti amunangawa chimalangu
kugawana
munthu akamabwera woyamba kama mpanga scout anthu amakhala gawana kale wanga pa interview paja wanga
uyo abwere ngumaona zoti ujeni criteria ine yonitengera munthu makamena kuoneka
uyo fanzi naye ikagwira but these are the biggest tingati destroyer of careers ambiri asikana.
Exactly.
Because I will tell you kuti there was a time I did a project kumavuta kenzovuta kupanga reference, but yeah, I did a project with this other organization and it involved sports, and I was privileged to talk to one of the seniors wamakoshi wampira wa asikana anandiuza McDonald, let me tell you in fact nkafuna tabwera podcast let me tell you inenta wivere kuima ndikukuuza za anthu amene akunyenga tena tingoti ngono amene mabwera mumpira umumu akati kwapanga promise anthu scouting akapita kapanga scout ma player ma legion makango pakati ana kuti panga promise kuti ndikutenga kena kubasi zio sayanka phone anthu apanga zinthu and I can even tell you kuti do you know kuti asikana ambiri they don't even feel comfortable. I think amanga abiko kwambiri kuti umatopeza kuti munthu yonde mzibambo andi male coach uja alimo upangira change male coach sakutuluka asikana kuvula kuona this is what happens, embarrassment. So ukamanga mankhani zogona and whatever is asikana ambiri they have enjoyed it. I believe
angofika bongo pima kuti coach wakuti akandifuna andija
bas
because I think what came into my mind was good ngati if this guy is comfortable ndi munthu wankulu kuli bwanji mwana wina wake
uka under 18
ka 18 kena kake
scout ku south
kuti akauza zoti ukangolola atu apapo ndoti ili yose tizikutenga olosamenye bwino.
Imagine
ali ndi mphamvu zotakhozonena kuti ayi
so koma nkhandi ino kuti kumalawi kunoko I think we take advantage of vulnerability kwambiri and I will tell you from my area zambi pitakamba za anthu amundale take advantage of vulnerability kumango ngoti inu ife kumaopa anthu acha ndikula anthu ena ma social media influencers amene amangogawa kashi amatenga so advantage of vulnerability ya munthu kuti
lero ndikudalisa Geoff
ndikupasa kashi kana kwa ndose lero ndifuna ndipeleke ndalama kwa munthu wina wake
lero ndikudalisa Mbumba ponya namba
ponya namba ndikudaliseni ase anthu kuponya 25,000
numbers
comments anthu ponya manamba kaizi mukuwapanga anthu mukuwapitisa anthu mmanja kwa predators asikana ngono kuti ali masukulu angoponya kena kwangodaba munthu amba kwa hit inbox.
Imagine apereka manamba lamene
and kumene kuti yayi zabwino you can never do that. I don't even know how that is even legal balali kuno
muyambana ndi anthu kuti muyenetu zomapanga.
There's no point you can be asking for people's number
give them money.
That's a privacy issue. That's a privacy issue. Panga ni format azifira format zika number azikupesa noka.
Kumasa
azipanga so tiki pamapena pake pokuti ndikupanga consent number yanga ikhala apa masiku angati. This is a private issue, privacy issues.
We can't even question. If we question, we are haters.
How many people anthu ali kuma inbox wa atatengedwa manamba pamene
pa
influencer wina wake kuti anapanga zakuti.
That's crazy.
If we question,
but ndonena kuti zokera kumene kuzokera ku abuse kukhani mphamvu kukhani ndalama
power
ndalama zakumalawi kuno kumati ukafika pamalo ukakhala bayala even
if people's boyfriends are being bought buyers come on. Vulnerability is something else.
Vulnerability kumalawi kuno
something else.
I think unoko ndeti maitengera kwambiri fande munthu akaonda ngakhala nkako kena kake koma anthu ndamavutika
my boyfriend umatsazika azikazawo ndikupita ku haso akanyamula ice wa baya
asobe
kuti akamanya kumene koko akapange handle bill ndekuti basi
ayi amakhala kuti amampasa ndekuti kashi
apange sort out tili tatu
out mabill ndekuti kachange
kamenewo kandrama kwakatsika naso kuti
my baby
yeah koma nkhani yo
but we need to see the end of this story as in kuti tione chilungamo chikutani.
I think let me ask you mwina poto was because panga follow nkhani zizi ma predators ambiri amene apezeka kama office ka muma spaces ngatawawa panalo wapo nkhani
ku music industry
wanapela wapo nkhani ina kuti mpana mutana fiziro mangido
ndiyo mwe ijaru ya kumazi ijaru I think
basi
kuna mangido manje
I'm sorry MBC
yeah.
That's the only notable case that I know up until today.
Okay. Really?
Let me tell you.
Even that guy waku police janadu base?
Waku police just basi so kanya so ina. You know what was that guy's name?
Amadika kaliza kaya amadani.
Yeah. Nkani mene just but you see the thing is nkani ngati this is mabita badali because for you to be a person of power and abusing your power like that means you also have a connection. And that's why ndani hen magana zafusa kuti kodi nde kuti kula anthu ena so kufamu sori nawo sama banga zimezi that way like there are people that are protected, highly protected. You know, you can try and whistle blow as much as you want.
Yeah.
Koma you cannot take these people accountable.
Even lolo kupita ku mascochers ka upita ka ku asika na chimati what? The Queens.
Yeah.
You can find kuti kuli guys. Muna so kwanyamata kusikuli guys na keso.
Yes, nzoteka.
Some guys na keso that.
Kuri alowe mu squad.
Yes, and alonkani ama predators it's not only men, even women are also abusing women.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Predator thing it's men against men, women against
ngoti ratio ya jamare mango yazi bamba machuluka kwambiri.
Yeah. Men are abused kwambiri. Mano you cannot say a lot. As a man don't man wherefore.
Ngokhanga dina yenga ukuthi
as mambo magesi za machuluka ma gym instructors ndi magaya galati awa. Yes, that's the increase of my case.
That's why I never allow a woman to go to a gym, buy gym in your house.
Oh my goodness. But we've seen the case of the women's FIFA World Cup?
Yeah.
Where this guy got suspended because he kissed his teammate after they won the match.
Yeah.
I'm French.
Like
there was also a coach of Spain, I think.
Coach of Spain. If issues like that were taken very serious, the way they were taken that time in Malawi, I'm sure.
But I'm telling you, this story, just like any other, unfortunately, it's gonna
it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. I remember there was one of the comments that I was reading through that story, and somebody goes like, ndani wangafuna ntsika na usela mpira anthu maoneka ngati amuna. You know, things like that. It's like it's very sad because you think just because somebody looks like or has male features then they're not desirable to someone.
You know ngati simafira. But you know, things like that is how we protect exactly. Because now you're saying things like you look like a man who's going to want you. That he's gonna use that as his leverage. He could use that easily, like come on, she looks like a dude. You see what I'm saying?
It's unfortunate and tilipa dziko limene sadly my predators alipenda paliposi from America allegedly that PD and like
allegedly
muna tongodikira
tufuna lawsuit guys. We don't have man
from America
was to
tizauza tidule matikiti tikayankhe mlandu
but anyway I will tell you kuti my issues ngati awa alipo ambiri for me, and I somehow think, and I'll go to you Mbumba, I think the women community is not that united. I feel like mumalimbana ndi nkhani zimene sizikufunika kulimbana nazo, koma nkhani ngati zoti pali abuse inake zimanena kuti even tools down in my office yomwamwene showing kuti you are sending a strong message. Koma umapeza kuti anthu amene utopita amene apanga comment zetu kansika naso. Nimaona ngati kuti unity of women needs to be studied bwino tione kuti how can we enhance unity ya azimayi specifically pa issues amene akupanga concern because boys imati ishineke ichitika umazaona amene anthu amazakhalira pamazachitika ka unity kena kosaziwika bwino kamene kamazapanga change.
Let me tell you something. You call me a feminist all you want at this point.
Yes.
But the reason why women do not love one another, or the reason why women do not back one another up, it's strategic separation from the get-go. Issues of patriarchy on its own were put in place. Could azimai tisamamvelane azimai tukatoka. Azimai amamvela amuna. And so, as if it doesn't bring the male gaze to me, then I don't want it. That's how the patriarchy has set up the society as we know it today. That's my sitima kurbilana, sitima bagilana, sitima. We don't listen to one another because literally the way it is, it's like men have the first say, and if a man doesn't say it, then it's not true. Now that's what 80% of the women that we know today, and then it's the rest, the remaining 20 that are like, no guys, what you're doing to this woman is wrong.
It's wrong,
But still 80% is a lot for you to fight.
Exactly.
I hear you. I think Nangasi, most of the women, every woman has a man.
Yeah.
So because of women being submissive and everything else, they listen to those ideologies. But anyway, let me conclude on this matter. I am of the view that there has to be a lot of things. I think we can't just say Azimai Oka. I think there has to be men who also have to step up. I think kind of boy that Yamazo my face, my guys, hey, Fano, what you good ish? I say, what do you have? magazi osabasekelana ase mapanga zopepera chief hayi mfana basi mukungomnabiza zimumpasa promotion but you don't have mungampanga
you don't even have the power.
Koma mfuna muzonesa ngoma mapanga zopepera. This is not right. If you wanted someone then fine. I think there's one rule: thou shall never date at your workplace. It's an easy one. That's the easy one. It's an easy one.
That's it. Pita nikwina kwake.
Pita nikwina ba. Because kumena kuchako muntu samakakopa
ali bino ntchito.
Sama onamene mankhula ma meeting.
Olata kukana sikudawo pa ntchito yake lipa. Hayi. So just go there. Just go there. Okay, all right guys. That's a major meeting for you. Shout out to Mbumba. Shout out to
I wasn't here.
To the friend of the show.
McDonald.
It's McDonald.
Finally, I've been
McDonald with the what?
McDonald.
With the
no. This is of people with money. Hey, this show you people with money when I can't even stand. They'll be like, your machines are not even advanced. We have already pre-ordered in the September one. Like,
yeah, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Podcast Malawi. Ajina Geoff analipa menepo. Ngozo analipa menepo. We'll see you next week, guys. We don't know what is coming next week, but we'll see.
Something big is. Anyway.
Yes. But we'll see you next week.
The usual. But something interesting coming next week.
Let's just say we'll see you. Let's just say we'll see you next week. Because like every week is a big week.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.